11 minutes after 1 o'clock. Welcome to the second hour of Power Lunch. My name is Tshegohaco Moagi and we are together until 3 o'clock this afternoon. And in this hour, we speak about choosing the right candle for every room. And when I talk about candles, if you know me, I am a sucker for candles, okay? I've got so many, some that I haven't even used. I think before COVID, 2019 or 2018, we went to Swaziland with my friends and we bought candles there.
Yeah.
And I haven't used them because I'm like, I don't want them to finish, right? I love candles, absolutely love candles in the room. They just brighten up. The scent is just delicious. You know, it's just absolutely lovely. But let me not speak about my personal feelings when it comes to candles. Thabi is going to tell us more about why it's important for us to have candles in our homes. Thabi Mahanyele, she is the founder of Creatives with Thabi. Good afternoon. Thank you for your time.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you so much for having me.
These candles are so cute.
Thank
Let me
you.
start there. Absolutely beautiful work indeed. Why did you want to go into the candle business specifically?
You know, when I grew up, I used to do a lot of arts and crafty. My mother is a retired arts and craft teacher. So I did get them working with your hands and creating things yourself from a young age. And I come from an interior design background. And there was one day where I was coming from a very stressful day and I bought a candle from the shops. And after I lit that candle, I started feeling a bit more calm, a bit more at peace. And then I realized that, this candle is not only smelling good, it's actually affecting the energy in the room and it's helping me with my stress. That's when I actually started becoming really interested in candles. And I said, I really want to learn how to make them myself.
Okay.
And that's how I started getting into candle making.
But now this is a different kind of candle making, ma'am, because these are candles and our digital team is here, Sanele is here, and she'll post some of these on our X page. But these are very cute, so to speak, right? Because they are different from the original type of candle that one would find.
Yeah.
You've got the different colors, you've got the different shapes. Why did you decide that yours must stand out in this particular way?
It's very important to be unique when you offer a business. So you don't want to follow trends. Your business needs to say something about you, what stands out about you. So it was very important. You see that most of my candles are flowers because I love flowers. They're very girly. And even the fragrances that I use in my candle making are unique. So for me, these are really beautiful because you can also use them as a decor. So these are the designs that I really, really fall in love with and they represent my company very well.
And, so they're all scented?
They're all scented, all of them.
Okay. Let's then talk about the importance of having a candle in a room. What does it do for that particular room?
So candles have really a calming effect. They can really help you with your stress levels. Like, let's say in your kitchen. A kitchen is a high traffic room. So you want a candle that is going to bring an uplifting mood in the kitchen, like your citrusy or your cinnamon. So they actually really impact, the overall theme of the room. Like in your bathrooms, you also want like a fresh scent. So you really need to understand the different scents and the different rooms, that you can use for your candles. They really know how to make a room feel a little bit more cozy. Yeah.
Let's then, before you tell us which scents for which room, the kind of scents that you have, what are those that you've introduced into your business?
So today I have lemongrass and ginger. I have cinnamon. I have passion fruit today. And I have summer garden and rose candles. So those are the fragrances that I bought. Oh, I have honey lemon as well. So those are the ones that I have today.
When you speak about passion fruit, I'm thinking about the drink.
Yeah. It smells really good. It smells really good. Yeah. I use it mostly in my kitchen. So it also really uplifts the room really nicely. So yeah, it's an amazing fragrance. It's these orange ones that are here.
I see.
Those are the passion fruit ones.
I see. So when we then speak, before we go, I don't want us to get too much into too soon into the conversation of what fragrance for which room. When we speak about candles and buying candles. Like I said, I love buying candles, and sometimes I'll just walk into a shop, see the candle, and I'm like, I want it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But there must be a mistake that I'm making there that I'm not thinking about, right?
Yeah.
What are some of the common mistakes that you have heard of, especially from some of your clients, when they then come to get your candles that they've made when actually purchasing their own candles?
Yeah. So it's very hard for customers to know how the candle is going to perform when they get home. So the mistakes that people do is that you select a candle that will end up tunneling. So what that means is that it creates a hole in the center. It goes all the way down and you can't light it anymore. So that usually helps if you have a larger container and they use 1 week. So it's really important to select. If the container is larger, you need to have 2 weeks in there or 3 weeks in there so that you can enjoy the entire candle. A candle is supposed to burn evenly going down. It's not supposed to create a hole there going down. So as a customer, it's really difficult to know, how is this candle going to perform when I get home? So those are the mistakes that most of my customers come and say, but your candles are burning all the way down. And I actually enjoyed this candle for 2 weeks and it finished. It's not the solid wax that was sitting on the parameters of the container, like how some of the candles behave that we get from the shops. Mm-hmm. So that is one thing that is quite challenging to know as a customer.
Yeah, because my candles also burn just in the middle.
I know. So the larger the container, it needs to have 2 weeks in there or 3 weeks in there so that those wicks can help each other to create a nice full melt pool.
Okay, thank you. Lessons learned. Lessons learned. So let's then speak about you walking us through the scent by scent, room by room. Let's start in the kitchen. What am I putting? What kind of scent am I putting in the kitchen? And also tell us why we are putting these scents in these rooms.
Okay. So your kitchen is quite a high traffic area and you want your kitchen to be warm but to have a nice uplifting energy. So your citrus fragrance would be amazing for a kitchen. Your cinnamon would be great for a kitchen. So when you go to the bathroom, you want something that is fresh. You want something that will mask any unpleasant scents in there. So your peppermint is great for bathrooms. Your eucalyptus is great for bathrooms. And, your lavender. Your lavender can also work in a bathroom. And when we get to the bedroom, a bedroom, that's where we are sleeping. That's a place to rest. You don't want something that is high energy. You want, a fragrance that is going to help you relax. And we know lavender is the queen of relaxation. Mm-hmm. Another alternative to lavender can be a blend of vanilla and sandalwood for a bedroom. It creates a cozy environment and you get to relax. You get peace of mind. So that would be relevant for your bedroom. Okay. So, that's how you can play around with your fragrances.
Some people may say, oh, Thabi, okay, I hear you. Thank you. That's great advice. However, I've got big spaces. I've got a big bedroom, especially maybe in the, you're the main bedroom. I've got a big bedroom. My kitchen is also quite open. My sitting area is also one of, these days, the way that houses are built, the sitting area and the lounge are in one space.
Yes.
So it creates this large space.
Yes.
So how then do I ensure that the fragrances, I can actually smell them throughout these rooms?
Okay. So it depends because it's very challenging for clients to be able to determine which type of wax was used here. So the one wax that has an amazing scent throw, which you'll be able to pick up the fragrance from a distance in a room, it's your paraffin wax.
Okay.
So, but those are the ones that are popular in the shops anyway. So it also depends on the fragrance percentages that has been used when the candle was made. Some candles, when you buy it, they would write there that this is a 3% fragrance candle, or this is a 4% or 1%. So the more you see, the bigger the percentage of fragrance, the more your scent through, the strength of the fragrance will come through in a room. Just when you walk in a room, you'll smell, there's a nice candle in this room. So that's how you can determine.
Now, you've taught us something else, the wax, right?
Yes, yeah.
Why should I even care what kind of wax the candle is made of? And what are the different waxes, if that makes sense?
I hear you. So we do have soy wax, which is a natural wax. It's extracted from soybeans.
Okay.
The soy wax candles are usually inside a container. So in most cases, your paraffin wax candles are pillar candles, which means they're not inside a container like these ones that are brought here. Mm-hmm. So the difference is that, if you're trying to make a massage candle, the wax that you'd need to use there would be your soy wax. And these are the things that we cover in our classes. So we do classes on a monthly basis, and we teach people how to make their candles for them to start selling, so that they know that, okay, if I wanted to make a soy wax candle and incorporate it with skin nourishing products like your shea butter, your coconut oil, your jojoba oil, this is the wax to use would be your soy wax. So we do cover that. You cannot use your paraffin wax on someone's skin because you're going to get people who have eczema and skin irritation. So your paraffin wax candles work best as peeler candles, like your dinner candles. Those are your paraffin wax candles. And when we do our classes on a monthly basis, we do outline those differences so that when someone starts selling, they're able to know which wax is for what and their individual purposes.
And the beeswax?
The beeswax is also a natural wax.
Okay.
It's just that it's a little bit more expensive, in the shops compared to the other ones. But it's also really a great wax to use. It's usually in your container candles as well. So it's also a natural wax.
Is it advisable, or I suppose it is advisable, but are candles actually stipulated? Do they have, I want to say ingredients,
Yeah.
because that's what we get in the shops. But are they actually written, this is the kind of wax that is bought? Should they actually have all that information for the client?
They should so that you know what you're buying, right? They should, because if you have a bees allergy, you need to know that, I want this type of wax, right? So sometimes it's not written in some shops, but a proper candle is supposed to be able to communicate to the client, what type of candle am I buying, so that the customer knows I'm buying 100% natural wax, soy wax candle, I'm buying a paraffin wax, or perhaps it's a blend. It's a blend of paraffin and soy. So you're supposed to know as a customer to the level where you even know the fragrance percentage that is used in a candle. We're supposed to tell you, Hore, this is a 3% fragrance candle, or this is a 2%. You don't always get it, but a proper candle is supposed to communicate all those details to a customer.
Have you had a customer say to you, Thabi, thank you so much, this candle did A, B, and C? Maybe just share some of the stories from your own customers as to how your candles may have uplifted their mood, may have, made them think differently about a particular situation and so forth.
So a lot of customers come back to me to say thank you so much, because one of the things that we teach in our master classes is how to incorporate herbs in your candle making. So some of my clients are traditional healers, they're spiritual healers, so they need to know that I'm using mpepo, I'm using my sage. How can I incorporate my herbs in candle making? So I would have customers that come to me and say, yo, Thabi, after you taught me how I can actually make herbal candles, prayer candles, I have customers that are happy that I'm helping them deal with anxiety, dealing with stress. So because candles do shift the energy in the room, they do help you to deal with, certain things that stress you. So I have a lot of customers that are really, really happy as soon as they know how to use those herbs with candle making, which fragrance is helping you with what. Then I get really great feedback. That my stress levels are very low now. I'm no longer struggling with anxiety because I know how to make my own candles.
And we'll speak about the master classes because I think it's very important that we do that. But is it important or is it significant how big a candle is?
Yes, definitely. It is important because the smaller the candle, the faster it's going to burn out. But it's also really important, the bigger the candle, it needs to have more wicks. So that it can be a high quality candle, it can burn evenly. To avoid things that you were mentioning, Hore, some of your candles would create a hole in there. It becomes a waste for a customer. I just bought this candle and so you want the bigger the candle, it's going to last you longer. And it needs to have 4 weeks, 3 weeks, depending on the size of the container.
And I suppose the bigger the candle, the more potent the smell?
Yes, definitely. You would have to add more fragrance if it's a bigger candle.
Okay. So for those, of course, who have got the dinner parties, the girls' nights in, I don't want to say girls' nights out, where they invite the girls in, what kind of candles would you then recommend for a warm light up for events like that?
I would recommend sandalwood. Sandalwood is really nice. Sandalwood is very welcoming, and it also has a luxurious, feel to it. When you have guests coming over, your sandalwood is best. Whether you have it as a pillar or you have it as a container, that's your girl right there. You know, that is the one thing that is going to bring a nice vibe into the room, definitely.
For you to be able to mix the right things, Thabi, how did you get to that point?
Well, I did do a lot of online classes for candle making, and I also did go through a lot of classes as well, physical classes. But the secret, honestly, in candle making is trial and error. You have to test and test and test until you can see that, okay, this is exactly how to produce, you know, a proper candle. So it does help that I did go through some formal studying to learn candle making, so that Linna, when I teach people, I know this is the one.
Have you ever made a candle and the scent did not turn out the way that you wanted?
When I was a beginner, I was like, "Hi man, go diragalang." So definitely when you're a beginner, you don't really know what you're doing. You're doing things because you're really interested. But as soon as I formalized it and I went to learn, that's when I'm like, oh, okay, this is the mistakes that I've been doing. And then it became easy for me to then transfer those skills to others.
What are some of the trends that you're seeing in the candle making space, you know, when it comes to scents, when it comes to designs like you have here, when it comes to sustainability?
So I'm seeing a lot of people now are doing a lot of ice cream candles. People are learning now that you can actually incorporate different waxes. They're doing coffee designs. So people are now learning that we can actually incorporate your gel wax with your soy wax. I'm seeing a lot of those designs now. Yeah, so those are really beautiful. Some people don't really bend them. They just use them for decor, you know, like your ocean feel. So those are the recent trends that I'm seeing a lot. And like these type of candles where people are using silicone molds, they're making flowers and plants. So yeah, that's the current trend now. We're incorporating different waxes to produce like one beautiful candle.
What are some of the risks that you've had to take in your candle making business?
You have to test, hey? Because, you know, someone can teach you one thing, but because out of your own passion and your creativity, you have to be like, let me try this and see how this is going to be like. So it's very important for someone to break out of their shell and to be able to say, to experiment that what happens if I mix this wax and this wax, so that you really understand from your own experiences, and that's how you remain unique in your business.
What is the best kind of candle to light after a long day? A day where things may have gone crazy, you know, you just weren't in control of certain things.
Yeah.
After a day like that, let's say a chaotic kind of day, what is the best candle to light?
So you know what? Lavender is the queen of relaxation, hey? So your lavender candle will really help you to calm down. It will help you have clarity. It will really help you with your nerves. So an alternative to lavender would be like a blend of your vanilla and your sandalwood. They also really help you with calming down. So those are the candles they long. Even when you meditate, you can just light your lavender candle, and it will really help you to figure out your stresses, your crazy day, and you know, just to unwind.
And so your master classes, give us more details.
So we have online classes. We also have physical classes in Northcliffe. And we teach people candle making, specifically, especially those who want to start that type of business, people to learn how to make their own candles. We talk about the differences, like I was outlining, from your pillar candles to your soy candles, the different waxes, how to measure your temperature, how to measure your fragrance, you know, your candle making terminology, and your manufacturing costs, so that you know how much did I actually spend to produce this candle, and the potential profits that you can make in candle making. We talk about incorporating your herbs into your candles for people that want to make prayer candles and they want to use like your sage and different herbs. So we actually teach them how to incorporate that. We also talk about your massage candles. You know, if you want to create a candle that is skin nourishing, how you're going to incorporate your shea butter with your coconut oil, your jojoba oil, and which waxes to avoid for that, since you're working on your skin if you have skin irritation. So all that for people that are outside the province, we do them online. We actually have one on the 17th of August. And for the physical classes, we have a class on the 30th of August and the 27th of September. We do have those physical classes to make sure that by the end of the day, someone actually has like a proper understanding of candle making.
So how best then do we get in touch with you so that we get to these master classes? but we buy these gorgeous candles?
So to get to the master classes, my Instagram page is Creatives with Thabi. Not Ntabi. Sometimes people say Ntabi. No, Creatives with an S with Thabi. That's me on Instagram, and on Facebook, I'm also Creatives with Thabi. And with my phone numbers, it's 069 568 6322. My phone numbers is 069 568 6322, and people can make bookings there or inquire about candles. We're always ready to take bookings and to assist.
Amazing stuff. Thank you so much for your time, Thabi.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
That is the founder of Creatives with Thabi, Thabi Mahanyele, speaking to us about candles and how they can actually uplift your mood, what kind of wax to use. Did you know that your candle is not supposed to create a hole in the middle when you light it? Then it's a fake one. But yeah, a great conversation indeed.